your hands and your fingers. Your ears with get back, watch you turn to a singer. Get you fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a popo. Don't do these, they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they going wild down in Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a polio. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Angry and frizzy.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they come in just in an absolute free-fall, losers of 7 in a row.
And this is where you turn to your best players and look at them and say, can you guide us out of this? We've got to be better than what we've shown.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stacked your team just the way you're supposed to. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now it's Rosen. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, you got a young quarterback, maybe that. Just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Pulled in at the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. As we get a peek at their big quarterback, standing at 6'5", north of 250 pounds, it's Cardale Jones.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Jones now to throw on 2nd down. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Cameron Wake in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. Throwing on 3rd and long, Jones. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. Still leaves them with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head and making a decision, and you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Well, I'm sure you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
So just shy of midfield, they tried it, didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position.
All right, here we go.
Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
And running back David Johnson was awfully popular in fantasy drafts in 2017, coming off of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Rosen. And Gresham's got it over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, a piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now here comes Kansas City.
And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Jones. Back to the air on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
A player that demands our attention, demands that we spotlight him, highlight him, whatever you want to call it, is Cameron Wake, the defensive end for the Miami Dolphins, because at the age of 35, he had 10.5 sacks. The 5th time in his career he's hit double digits. All this after 2 seasons ago, coming back from an Achilles tear. Cameron Wake knows how to get it done.
Throwing, Jones. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Cameron Wake in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
And when you're looking for a big-time corner, look no further than Kendall Fuller. Acquired in the offseason, he's much more than just a throw-in in the Alex Smith deal. This guy knows how to cover. This guy makes plays on the football, and he tackles well in the open field. Not bad for one of 4 Fuller brothers to play in the NFL.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. D. Ford in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And a few little style points on the juke, but not much room to maneuver.
Become almost a lost start in the NFL game, but it's so impactful right away.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their... territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On the ground, this is Ware. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jones dancing to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run now with Ware. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time. From the gun, Jones. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. It's Chandler Jones, no relation, in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that upset him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he stopped immediately there. It's a safety run. Parker there to make the tackle.
Away from the line of scrimmage.
That's changed.
But has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Andy Lee now. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And we get a look now at what Cardale Jones has been up to. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They have their back.
Under pressure, they got him again. Cameron Wake in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Jones operating from the gun. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Cameron Wake. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And going deep for Hill. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play on 3rd down for the Chiefs. 58 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
And kept him to a short run play there. On the run, it's Ware. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
They run it here. Ware. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
On the return, here's Edmonds. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun, it's Rosen. And the Chiefs are going to get him. D. Ford in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Jones now to throw on second down. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he gets it down to the 32. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Looking to throw. Jones. He can run for it, and he will. taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down. To play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jones now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And an alley to run. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got it first and goal at the 7. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal. The Chiefs will try and get to the line quickly. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next as we resume play. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Butker able to put this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, which is 6?
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all
looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a KC touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Extra point up and through. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, here's Edmonds. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes Josh Rosen and the Cardinals offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse.
Let's go.
But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Underneath for Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. On third down, Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Andy Lee now. He's been terrific so far. This is fielded at the 7. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Jones, a final shot before break. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our... Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They start the second half here with Williams. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And quickly, they get to the line. To throw on second down, Jones. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Back to throw. Jones. And able to find Conley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Check 26, check 26. Slam. Flex round, flex round. Check 99, check 31, check 31.
And they'll go on the ground. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The Chiefs on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Jones. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On third down, that's Johnson. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now here comes Kansas City. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Jamar Taylor will be credited with a tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Chiefs on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Now Jones operating from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. And, Johnson dinged up a bit. Still down. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Again, they run with Evans. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
3rd and long here for Rosen. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilson. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16 on 3rd and 16, and that spot moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On play action, Rosen. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. D. Ford in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dontari Poe in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. So those lateral type runs, But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Jones now looking to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Here's Jones throwing on 3rd and long. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
After the interception, here's Rosen. This one complete to Gresham. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. We're back now in KC. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter.
Set. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. His pass caught at the 4. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Dawson tacks on the point after. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, he picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Yeah, Conley's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. On 2nd down, Williams. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle made by Antoine Bethea. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
Let's roll! Let's roll! Ohio! Ohio!
On fourth down, Jones. And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46. Chandler Jones in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
This quarterback now 6 for 6. And play action here with Rosen. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, we need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second and 10 now. It's Rosen. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Rosen looking to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it third down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now it's Rosen looking. And this is going to be incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here we go. It's Rosen on fourth down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the fourth.
There it is, partner. You see it. 4 fingers. What does that mean?
4 fingers. That signifies the fourth quarter's here.
That's right. Who's going to dominate? Usually both teams are holding them up. We own the fourth quarter. What we found out so far, 2 touchdowns here, and now they've taken the lead.
Yeah, second one putting them in front. You know what I see on the other sideline, though? It seems like they've tensed up, had that lead. They were playing not to lose it, and they've lost it.
That's a great observation. When you play not to lose, you usually don't win.
Now, though, they'll have the opportunity to respond.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
And now here comes Kansas City. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
Off play action. Jones. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Flex round. Flex round. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there. 56. Ohio. Ohio. Check girls. Check girls. Check girls.
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Wake in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Got to try it here. He's back to throw, and he's going to go down again. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Hitchens in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
On 2nd down, Rosen caught right side. Gresham. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
Now Edmonds. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So a pressure spot now for Phil Dawson. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now here comes Kansas City. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to do 3. And and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Man 38!
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. It's caught at the 10. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. A big play there for KC. 66 yards.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The free safety, Trey Boston, there to knock it away. This secondary as a unit, they've worked really well together in this one, especially late.
A lot of cohesiveness, a lot of communication, and some great athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Here we go!
Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. Butker on for the PAT. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Butker now to add the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that might be enough to win them the football game as they now take the lead in the final seconds. Butker now to kick this one away. On the return, here's Edmonds. And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
All right, here we go.
One final shot here for Rosen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Chiefs, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the